Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome back. My name is Stuart, and this is Stuart's and Stitches on Sunday, the 31st of August 2025, and this is Flosstube number 39. The end of August. Who would have thought? Where's 2/3 of the year gone? I don't understand this. However, we are coming into my favourite third of the year, the bears. I do love the bear months. September, October, November, December. Oh, fabulous. Favourite time of the year. I was born for autumn and winter. It's a lovely day here today. There's blue skies so far. It's a bit breezy, a bit fresh, as they might say, but it's lovely weather. After it was a bit mixed this week. It was wet and windy for a fair bit of the week. Yesterday was damp, to say the least. However, it's getting to that time of year. It's great. I'm loving it. You can tell it's kind of coming into the autumn now. As the schools are back, the festivals in Edinburgh are drawing to a close. Everybody's girding their loins up for the colder weather. Bring it on. Love it. Probably absolute heresy to some of you, but nonetheless, to me, loving it. So, here we are. Hope you've all had a good week of stitching. I have. It's been not bad at all. Various things happening this week, which we'll talk about. A couple of anniversaries that cannot go past without comment. There could even be a couple of giveaways going on as well. Stitching as usual. We've got temperature stitching. We've got Saga. So a whip or two. I'm saying a whip or two. A whip or two. So there's a couple of things off the shelf. A wee story to tell. Oh, I think there's enough there to keep us occupied for a wee while as I look around at everything that's scattered round about me. I do not do tidy, really. One of us in this household doesn't, the other most definitely does. And we have learned to work around each other, thankfully. So, to my new ones, no, let's do the existing ones first. My old friends, they turn up faithfully every Sunday. It's lovely to be here again with you, spending some time sharing the stitching news from the Central Belt of Scotland. Well, my part of the Central Belt of Scotland. I'm not the only stitcher in the Central Belt by any manner of means. There's a whole gang of us scattered from Edinburgh to Glasgow and up and down. But my little corner of it. So welcome with me today. To any new people who have subscribed this week, welcome aboard, thank you. It's nice to have you here at the party. So make yourself known. It's always good to know who the new people are. And to any of you who have just found me, stumbled across this strange boy talking about stitching, welcome. I hope you enjoy what I'm sharing with you. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you like it and want to see more, and maybe ring the bell. Then you'll get notified every week when I post, because I do post on a Sunday regularly as clockwork, unless things occur that take me away. But generally it's a Sunday, 9 times out of 10, which is good. I do like a regular thing. What else is there before we get into the meat of the video today? If you want to get in touch with me, comments are always good, always welcome. Please do drop a comment below to all those who commented in my last video. Thank you very much. They were read with great interest and replied to. So thank you for taking the time out. I do appreciate that. I love the engagement in the community here. So please keep it up. I like to hear all sorts of things in the comments. Primarily, what are you stitching on or what are you crafting on? Doesn't need to be stitching. We all can do various things. I've heard comments about crocheting and knitting. I think there's maybe some scrapbooking going on in a corner somewhere out there. All sorts of goodies. So please, just anything you want, engage. It's all good fun. And I do love the comments. It's part of what makes this worthwhile, that having that engagement throughout the world. I love the fact I can talk to somebody on the other side of the world who could be stitching something similar to what I'm stitching, and it's just amazing. I love it. So please keep it coming. Other ways to get in touch with me are Instagram and email. Instagram is Stuart's and Stitches, and I generally post on Instagram most days, usually my temperature stitching and Saga, whatever progress I've made on either of those topics. Sometimes now and again I will post what else I've been working on that day. Usually not, because by the time I come to do that would be about 11 o'clock at night and I can barely bite my thumb by that point today. What else is there? Oh yes, there's email as well, stuartsandstitches@gmail.com. Both of these will be in the description box below, so please feel free to go and have a look and get in touch, whichever way you suit. Right, so let's have a look. So whips first, we're going to do temperature stitching. So the usual blurb, temperature stitching. What is Stuart's temperature stitching? Well, I'm so pleased you asked because I'm dying to tell you. My temperature stitching is take 10 projects, assign them 0 to 9. Look at for me, look at the BBC weather app and see what the high is for that day, and take the last digit of that high, and that tells me what I'm stitching. So, for example, today I think, I had a quick look, it said 18, so that's 8. So it would be scary sampler, but I don't think I'll be doing temperature stitching today, but that will become clearer as we go through the video. So I'm busy looking at my tablet thinking, why have I got that picture on my tablet? But I've just remembered why I've got that picture on my tablet. You will be seeing it later. So temperature stitching, let's make a start. First thing up is, again, these are in no particular order of how they appeared this week, it's just as I've pulled them off the pile. First up is Supernatural. This is a stitch along from the Witchy Stitcher, and all I'm doing at the moment is the border, the outside border. I'm saying all I'm doing, this border is massive. It is big. So I'm stitching this on something. I did have a label. Oh, there it is. This is a piece of fabric from Extra Design. It's a 32 count Saga Belfast linen called Old Mushroom. I do like a mushroom. The edible type only, of course. So here's where we are. I'm not going to unscroll it. There's nothing much to see apart from there's a big border going on. So this week I worked, I think I did about 3 of these arches here, and even these arches with the wee doodad in between. Bring that in, can you see? Yes, you can see fine. That's very good. So it's all blacks and browns at the moment. So happy with that, and we'll just, well, let me tilt that, let's see what you can see. I'm going to, the aim is to work this all the way along. And I know it's going to meet up because there's been a bit of frogging and fudging. So there we are. I seem to be slightly higher up here. Not quite sure what's going on. Up here below. There we go. So there's that one. That's the threads. They're just, I think I'm using CXC for this. So that's the thread colours eventually. There will be some colour appearing when I get to the creatures. Our friendly supernatural creatures. I think there's vampires and werewolves and ghoulies and all sorts of goodies in there. Let's just have you back on there. And I'll put this back where it lives and not being stitched on. And the label fell off for the thing. I'm just going to keep that here and hope I remember what that label's for. We'll see. Right, so that got, what did that get? Where are we? Temperature stitching. Supernatural, I got 110 stitches this week on Thursday. It was 16, so 6 is Supernatural. I generally do about 100 stitches a day or an hour if I'm not counting. And that gives me good progress, surprisingly. Next up is Blue Moon Angel. So this is from Lavender and Lace. This has been on the go for many a year, hence why it's made it migrated into temperature stitching just to get some progress. I've got the chart hidden away somewhere, but there's what it will look like one day when Mickey Mouse is on. Let's see, where's the best? Oh, there you go. There's a reasonable picture. So that's what it's going to look like. I'm in the moon somewhere round about here. So this is being done on a 32 count piece of blue something that came as a kit many years ago from, I think it was So and So in the good old days. And so I just using everything that came with it, which is DMC. There's beads, there's a ton of, is it 447, the gold beads, the gold petites, and this blue linen in 32 count. Before I realised I don't like beading in 32 count. Hey ho, one lives and learns. So here's where we are. So you can see where our face is going to be. No, so I'm just peering around the side here. I don't know, I've seen a bit of sorts this morning for looking at things. However, there we are. So I was working, where was I working? Along here today, this week, just along this part of the blue here, in the blue moon. So it's coming on not bad. I can't see what you're seeing. I don't know what's wrong with my setup today. I'm out of sorts. However, there it is. I think it's probably because it's in the frame as well, so I kind of sort of fold it down out the way. But it's coming on not bad. I do like it. But I do like lavender and lace, as we will see as we go through the video. So that's where that one is. Coming along not bad, happy with progress on this. It's nice to give it some love actually, it's nice for it to be out and about. So I can go back over there. Right, I'm sure I've missed one when I pulled them all out. Oh, I did do a scary sample this week, that's what I haven't pulled out. Did I? Oh no, I didn't. I wrote it down for Tuesday, but I didn't actually do it because I didn't stitch on Wednesday either for it. I did some stitching on Wednesday, but I didn't do the temperature stitching, which will all become clear. Right, next up, Quilting Bee that came out twice this week. I'm enjoying working in this again. It's nice to see progress on it. Let me take the chart off it though. I don't want you probably don't want to see it. Well, you probably do, but you're not going to see it. There's what it's going to look like. I am over here in this part just now. The bee's all stitched apart from the wings. So I've just been working up here, as you will see when I turn it around. This is stitched in a piece of 40 count something. This is my first ever foray into the world of 40 count many years ago. When did I start this? This is when the sewing room wasn't the sewing room and we were through there with our laptops. So that was before lockdown. This must have been started 2019 or 18, one day when I was working from home. As I used to work, generally from certainly the latter half of my career, I always worked from home 1 day a week. Until lockdown, then I worked at home 5 days a week. Well, 4 days a week, so I did compressed hours in those days. I did my full-time hours over 4 days and had Fridays off, which was amazing. See if you get the chance to that, do it. It is well worth having the extra hours Monday to Thursday just to get that long weekend every week. I love that. Anyway, sorry, we digress. Here's where we are in Quilting Bee. Let me bring that in. So this week I did this, I think I finished that motif, did up to here, did that, did this thing, this wee motif here, and I started outlining this wing. So there's quite a lot in it this week, over the 2 days. It got, can I do the sums? I've got to find the thing first. Quilting Bee, 243 stitches this week it got. So it's coming on not bad. So I'm struggling to bring this into where the camera is today. I don't know what I'm doing here. You think I'd never done this before, would you? So I'm very pleased how that's looking, and I'm so pleased I brought that out to work on. And its colour palette, which just happens to be sitting here, is this. Aye, this is it. Hang on, these are out of order. There we go. So these are the threads for the Quilting Bee. It's a nice piece. I was inspired to start this many years ago because I saw there was a lovely lady at the Scottish Stitching Retreat. She was working in this at that point and I'd never seen anything like it. And I thought, oh, I need to be stitching that. Hence, I'm now stitching that. A good few years later, that must have been 6 years ago now. And this is from the Blue Flower and it's designed by Janine McGowan. So I'm very happy with how that's coming on. And then the last piece in temperature stitching this week is Santa's Cottage, or Santa's House from Cottage Garden Samplings. This is a Fabulous House series. And this was number 1 in the series. So it will look like that, except I'm doing it in a much lighter fabric, which at times gives me cause for concern, but I'm happy enough I can see the 3865 on it. It's 3865, yes it is 3865. That winter white. So that's what it's going to look like. So I was just filling in white this week when I was working on it. Which side of the house was it? That side. So I was working all the white you can see there, and all the white you can't see there. It's up the side here. You can just see it. There's a hint of it there. It's actually much clearer in real life, I'm very pleased to say. Anyway, I was working on that. If you want to see this finished, Andrew, about 2 or 3 videos ago, the runner stitcher, he finished this. Blames me for the fact he finished it because he pulled out after seeing mine in my temperature stitching. And then, words fail me what I can call him get away with on here. He finished it. How very dare he? He finished it. Anyway, congratulations to Andrew. Did a lovely finish of it, by the way, though. Joking aside. So there we are. I do like this. It's good fun. And as I've said before, these are deceptive. You look at that, you think, oh, I've got a quick stitch. Said every stitcher. There's no truth in that at all. It's like having their designs that says it's a quick stitch. Well, I suppose all things are relative, let's be honest. Right, I'll put that down there just now before I put it back in its proper home. So that was my temperature stitching this week. So it was 4 pieces. Oh no, Scary Sampler. I forgot to bring that out. Hang on. Which one's Scary Sampler in? That's in. There's about to be a. Yes, I thought there was about to be a disaster in the corner there. Things just cascaded. Scary Samplers is from Heartstring Sampleries. And a few of you I know have now started this, or I've got it ready to start. It's this beauty. All the different references to pop culture. It's amazing. Oh no, I didn't stitch in it this week, did I? Good God. What is my head hunting? Well, I've hunted it out now, so you're going to see it anyway. May as well see what I got to the last time in case it comes out this week, then you can see where I'm starting from. Here it is. Everybody likes it anyway, so it's well worth showing. Here we are. So this has been stitched in my favourite drab brown, or whatever it's called, some wonderfully inspiring name. And I'm stitching this in a 32 count. No, is it 36 or 32? Where's the label? I can't remember now. Ah! Everything's falling. I'm having a disaster. Aye, 36 counts Zweigart. I can do all bits and pieces this morning. I don't know what's wrong. Scattered, I think is the word. Scattered. Right. Let's gather that back up. Hang on, there's stuff in the floor here that doesn't need to be in the floor. There. What is with me this morning, I wonder? There we go. Right. It's a change in the weather. I'm excited for the bears coming. Let's say it's that. Okay, right, what have we got next? Next we have Saga. So, this is going to be the last, well, it's not the last time you'll see Saga because I'm working on it today, but then you'll see it next week and that'll be the last time you see Saga for a while. Because the reason I've been doing Saga, I've been doing this week by week since the start of May, is Andrew the runner stitcher, who I've just mentioned, what is training for a marathon. However, the marathon he was training, he has started his training for, I'm trying to get my tenses sorted out as I go along here. The marathon he started his training for was the Sydney Marathon, which took place either today or yesterday, and he was going to be running that. However, events and circumstances in his own life have prevented that happening. So instead, he is going to run the New York Marathon in 2 months' time. So we got another 2 months of training, or whip into shape as we're doing, because in support of Andrew's training, he popped up a challenge called Whip into Shape, to pick a whip to work on while he trained. And this is how we can support him when he's out doing his runs, particularly his longer runs. He knows he has us at his back, supporting him with our stitching. And he brought out one of his pieces to support himself as well. He's doing Fruits of Plenty by Jacob and Modern Folk Embroidery. I decided to do Saga from Long Dog Samplers. I did 100 stitches a day for every day he trained. Sometimes I did more stitches, depending. And I made tremendous progress. Pat myself in the back here. I made tremendous progress on this. I can't believe it. 100 stitches every day faithfully, apart from the odd day where he didn't do it, where he wasn't training. And oh my, did this rattle along. So today will be the last day I'm doing it. He suggested today be a marathon stitching day. I decided to revert back to his original idea of doing 10 stitches per mile and pretending that it is a marathon. So 26.2 miles. I'm going to do 262 stitches in this today, and we'll call it good for a wee while because it's going to go away. Don't panic. The stitching challenge will continue, just not on Saga. So here's where we are on Saga. I've been working, I did this lovely wee motif here. I think I finished off that by the end of last week when you last saw it. So I finished this kind of bit of the arch there. I've done this, and I've been working, creeping along the bottom here. So today I'm probably going to fill in, I think, probably a bit up here and see where we get to in 262 stitches. 26.2 miles times 10 is 262 where I come from. And probably where most other people come from. So I finished, this arch is now finished. When I started this piece and picked up, I'll put a picture up there where I'm wagging my finger at 20 minutes 14 or so by. Let me just write that down as a timestamp, 2014, so you can see the progress I have made. It was from down there to about there was where I'd got to. So in the challenge I've done just about 11,000 stitches so far. Now Jules, the designer, did stories for each of the arches. Andrew's been reading them out because he's up at the top somewhere, so it's going to be a long time I think before you hear this one. So I'm going one of my subscribers a couple of weeks ago suggested I might want to read the story for this arch. So I have been I was going to do it last week but I forgot. So I've found the story and pin back your ears and hear the wonders of this arch. Let me just hope that the tablet hasn't lost it. Something I prepared earlier. Right. So this panel is called the Forlorn Stitch. The Forlorn Hope is a military term applied to a band of soldiers or other combatants, very often volunteers who are prepared to form the vanguard leading the way and who undertake perilous missions into unknown territory. Extrapolate that a little and what you see here is the Forlorn Stitch. These brave critters were all prepared to put their little cross-stitched bodies on the line and be the first troops to enter Saga at the bottom left to gain intelligence while simultaneously doing a risk assessment with a view to making this sampler a safe chart for stitchers to visit and enjoy. Our little detail of critters are a very mixed bunch, with a great many stories of their own to tell what would make your tail curl. Captain Shergar of the 1st Mounted Fusiliers began life as a thoroughbred racehorse, but after his retirement from racing in 1983 he was stolen. The horse thieves demanded a ransom of £2 million for his safe return, which was never paid. And rumours were rife as to his fate. I'm delighted to say that after months of extensive cosmetic surgery, he has now become Shergar the Donkey, freedom fighter, an all-round good guy with a love of stitching. Captain Shergar's second in command, a jet black sight hound, not so much jet black, were red in this one. Thank you. A red sight hound named the Black Watch. Shall we say the Red Watch, maybe? Holds the rank of colour sergeant in the Seaforth Highlanders and gained his sobriquet because of his steely gaze and ability to spot trouble long before it surfaces. Corporal Gideon, the young retriever chasing butterflies, is an olfactory specialist and can sniff out anything from unexploded bombs to drugs to bacon sarnies with extra ketchup. That'll be the red. Amazing how this red crops up, isn't it? The bunnies don't really have any special skills, but there's enough of them to get under the feet of fleeing assassins and bring them crashing to the ground with a thud, which just leaves Sapper Seahorse a vital member of the team as he can operate to depths of 30 feet or more and still be combat ready. Captain Shergar has radioed back to headquarters in Castle Longdog that they've just spotted Lord Lucan, a British peer who disappeared after being suspected of the murder of his children's nanny and is still on the run. That's him on top of the Airbnb turret, waving a flag so as not to attract attention. And with him is his latest squeeze, the Mayor of Bayswater's daughter, who they instantly recognised from her lewd description in an old army song. An extremely hirsute young lady by all accounts. The good news is that Saga has been passed as safe to sow. So there you go. Now we know everything that's there. I had no idea till I read that earlier today. Fabulous. I'll try and remember, I'll put the picture of that up on the screen while I'm reading. And you can identify Shergar. There's the pointy dog and the olfactory one. Lord Lucan lurking up in the top here. And the bunnies and all the wee critters. Oh, great. I love this piece. However, one can love a thing for too long. No, that's not true, actually, given one of the things I wanted to talk about next. It needs to go away for a while because I've had enough. So something will replace it, though, because I'm going to continue with Andrew's challenge. He is continuing on the same premise for the next couple of months. So what I'm going to be doing is this month I've been working Stitches So Beautiful's Frost and Velvet, one of their marvellous Santas, one of their many marvellous Santas. Because she was doing a challenge that if you stitched at least 250 a week, you would get a free chart after the month was over and be entered into a draw, and one lucky person would get a chart a month, I think it is. 12, so you'd end up with 12 other charts of hers, and our charts are beautiful. I do like them. So I'm doing Frost and Velvet, which is this one here. No, Mickey is making an appearance again. There we go. And where his hand's holding that crook, Shades of St. Nicholas of Bishop of Smyrna. And there he is. The hand is holding the crook. I'm over to this side of that with that cuff of his coat now. Now the Legends of St. Nicholas. Oh, you really need to go and read that up, by the way. Amazing what that man did. Not only did he box Arius's ears for preaching heresy, he rescued the pawnbroker's daughters. He also rescued some boys that were plunged into boiling oil. Oh, he did a vast number of miracles. Wonderful man all round. If you like music, Benjamin Britten's your man there for his cantata St. Nicholas. I remember singing in that when I lived in Dumfries. Great fun. Oh, loved it. Always remember conductor. Right, tenors, strip off your glory. That's one of the sections in the beginning. When the strip off your glory, Nicholas. Always raised a giggle. Anyway, we slightly digress. So I've been stitching that this week, and that will now become my, to quote from what we've just read, my daily squeeze for Andrew's challenge. So this week, here's where we are. So I've just been doing this cross country. And loving doing the cross country on it. Just been filling in along here, and as I fill in the block down here, I'm just taking the thread and running it out to whatever's nearby. The general aim is to work along the bottom of the page. So this we're at 1116 stitches on it roughly, and this got what, 293 stitches this week, I think. So there we are. This has been stitched in 25. Is that 25 or 28? 1/1 full cross CXC threads, and it's looking not bad at all. I'm very pleased how that's turning out. So this is the kind of the fur trim on the wrist of his coat, or the cuff. That's the word I'm looking for. The cuff in his coat, and this is the kind of shadow underneath it. And we'll be working along to his fingers wrapped around his crook. So that's been worked on this week as well. Coming on not bad, so that will get a lot more attention now, which will be nice. Right. Stay. And the other piece that I worked on this week was, if I can just haul it off my magnetic board here. There we go. Come to daddy. Thank you. There's the mermaid piece I'm doing for it. Oh, you've gone all dark. Ooh, I don't know what to do with that. It might brighten up again. You can still see me, I think, so we're alright. This is... Oh, that's not it. That's the key. Where's the picture? Here's the picture. This is Letters from Mermaids E, because the wee lassie next door's got a lovely name, Larry. That's what it's going to look like. Apart from that, I'm doing it in a blue fabric. I'm doing this in 32 count. Ah, the light has come back. That's good. Who knows? The temperaments of lighting. So this is stitched in one of my scroll frames. And here's where we are. So this week I've finished off the middle bar of the E, and I'm just working up. Scroll it down a bit just to give me a bit more room at the top. No, I'm going to need a lot more. I've got a lot more fabric up there, and I'm going to have letter. I think they're probably going to end up there somewhere. So let's bring this in. You can see these nice colours. This is all classic Colourworks. And I'm really pleased how it's turning out. So this fabric was a gift to me from a dear friend, stitchy friend Gail, who lives up the road, for whom I made a bag this week. So I'll put a picture of that up later on when I talk about bags a little bit. You know me, I do like to talk about the bags. So that's coming on not bad at all. Very pleased how that E is looking. I like the colours, nice and bright. Yeah. So it's 32 count, that's on. Nice opalescent, there's a wee bit of sparkle going on. And we'll see how we got on with that. We'll continue with that, so we will. And that's all the whips this week. That's us done the whips. Here's my crib notes. Aye, that's it. Yeah, we've done Temperature, Saga, we've done the story, we've done Frost and Velvet, and we've done the Mermaid. So we're good. Right, where are we? We're at 30 minutes, half an hour. That's not bad. Right, we're going to do shelf next. Let's see what I hauled off the shelf of surprises. There's other things here as well. So just because they're sitting on top of each other, I'm going to haul them all over. Right, you lot can sit up there. Right. No, there's something missing. Oh, there it is. And you'd brought two. Okay. So the first thing that came off the shelf into Stuart's dirty little paws. No, they're not dirty actually. I have washed. We're alright. Well, I am. It's thirsty. So this is... I have lots of Mirabilis on my shelf, I am discovering. More than I'd ever realised. Although I don't have quite the grand total of one of my friends who's totaling hers up, and I think she'd reached 70s. You know who you are. And I don't think she's in the 20s for stitching them either. Just saying. I just thought I'd drop that in there. And she'll kill me now the next time she sees me, no doubt. All good fun. Anyway, Day Nymph this is, by Nora Corbett. This is MD 104. I'm not going to look at I'm going to look at the copyright date. After last week, I realised the 90s was 30 odd years ago. This is even worse. 2000, no it's not. 2009, 25, 24 years ago maybe. No, not even that. Hell, Stuart, add up. 16 years ago. Aye, 69 is 25. 16 years ago. Oh well, it's not too bad I suppose. Where was I in 2009? I just finished my maths degree with the Open University. So I was working in the Scottish Widows Bank in those days. There we go, that's what she's going to look like. A nice beauty. I remember seeing a lady stitching these on Flosstube once. Is it Nadia somebody or other? Some time ago, a few years ago now. And I was inspired to go and buy them. And I headed off to Arts and Designs and did precisely that. And they had that. And they had the pack with, because it's special, it's Valdani threads and a special bead pack. So I was lucky I got everything. So it's all there. So that's actually shaming me. It's all ready to go. It just hasn't gone yet. I just need to pick a piece of fabric and this could be getting started. And she's lovely. I love the colours. So this is, what's this one? This is Dana. I've got Night Nymph as well. Funnily enough. No great surprise there, is there? So that's one of the ones that come off the shelf. That could be a start at some point. I'm very pleased with that one. That's nice. But then the other one is another one of my favourite designers. This will be Teresa Wentzler. I don't even think I've organised this when I look at it. No, I haven't. I think I've got this off eBay probably. Oh yes, I'm busy looking at it. I'm looking at the key. And that's the cards for sorting out the threads. I'm hoping and praying the threads are maybe sorted already. Because there's nothing worse than opening it up and realising, oh God, I've got to sort all these threads out and try and work out what light pink with very light pink looks like. Pages and pages of chart. Oh my goodness, there are pages and pages of chart. You're not going to see much out of that. If you can extrapolate a board on the chart from that, then more power to your elbow is all I can say. Alright, we've got the key at the bottom. The normal key. This actually looks quite a nice chart. And it's computer generated as well, so it's nice and clear. And the fact it's in a number of pages is good. I'm quite enjoying actually having a wee dig through this. Anyway, what is it I'm looking at? Well, might you ask? Let me haul everything out and then we can show. Okay, get this bit of plastic off and go away to rubbish. This is the fortune. No, this is the minstrel. There we are, the minstrel. One of the dragon ones. I saw this on eBay the other day at a rather extortionate price. I thought, well, I'm glad I got this, and I did, because I would never have paid that for it. Well, it was into 3 figures. Probably because of the dragon, because Teresa withdrew her dragon kits and charts. These are much more difficult to come by. So there's that. So that looks lovely. So this comes with 28 count even weave and all the bits and bobs. that one could ever wish for. So the threads are kind of sorted. They're kind of on cards, which I'll probably transfer some of them more sturdy. We've got some extras, and there's some sparkle stuff in there as well somewhere. So that's going to be fun to sort out. You don't know how I love sorting threads. And there's a pile of beads somewhere I saw. Oh aye, a mixture of beads. So it's all kitted. I'm saying, here's the fabric. I thought I saw fabric. Maybe I didn't. Oh well. Oh, that's alright. I don't mind that because I've got plenty of fabric I can be using. I thought this came with fabric. No, one lives and learns. I didn't take it out and put it somewhere, did I? No, I didn't. Oh well. There we are. Not that it matters. I mean, there's a few things in life I'm short of, but fabric and stitching supplies is not one of them. And to be honest, Merlin, I'm very lucky. It's not like I'm short of much, to be honest. Can't grumble if you do, who listens? Carol pipes up in the corner. Oh, here he goes again, moaning again. Oh yes, I thought I'd fabric for that, but I don't. Oh well, interesting. Right, so there we are. I keep on saying Fortunate Travel. Fortunate Travel is one of the ones I want to get my hand on. So, that's the two that came off the shelf as surprises this morning. Right. So that now leads me on to something else. So two important anniversaries this week. And so the first anniversary was we have now passed my first Flossversary. Just over a year ago, I launched myself into the world of Flosstube. I look back to watch my first video. Oh my. That was never a good idea. However, anyway, that was fun. So I've been doing this for just over a year now. I started off fortnightly. This wee boy from Scotland suddenly popped up on your screens and was welcomed by open arms. I'm so grateful and so delighted with the welcome I received for that, and the fact that here we are a year later, 4,900 of you chose to subscribe and regularly tune in and watch. So I'm so pleased. I might even get to 5,000 by the end of the year. Wouldn't that be a thing? We'll see. I'd like to say it's all about the numbers. It's not all about the numbers, but oh aye, it's all about the numbers. I'm a number boy. I did maths. I worked in a bank. What do you expect? Anyway, so there was that. I've done a year of this. I've had a year of sharing my stitching with you, which has evolved into the format we all love and enjoy now. And we worked through the cupboard of doom and all those bags that I have in there with all the different things. It was a great revelation to you and to me. And we're now working through the shelf of surprises. We've done the sewing room tour. You've seen Carol's handiwork in the back garden. You've heard stories of my beloved husband. And I think now that we've reached a year, that's all worthy of a giveaway. So, we'll do one that I have finished. And I even brought the finish to show you what you could stitch as well. So what we're going to have as a giveaway is this one, the bookshelf from Little House Needleworks. I stitched this on a piece of 28 count something. Oh, hang a second, I need to pause. And we're back in the house again. Right, so what will this look like? I finished this some time ago. Ali, you'll recognise this, seeing as your fault I started it. So here we are. It's a lovely, lovely piece. So this is stitched in a fabric of the month from Sparklies. Let me bring it back so you get to see the full beauty of it. There we go. It's so nice. It's all famous lady authors. So we've got Elizabeth Browning, Emily Dickinson, Louisa M. Alcott, Sarah Burnett, Jane Austen, a particular Bronte, somebody Wilder, that'll be Laura Ingalls Wilder of Little House on the Prairie fame. And then some books, Sense and Sensibility, The Secret Garden, Wuthering Heights and Little Women. And some pictures depicting the same. So it's a lovely, lovely piece. So we'll do that as a giveaway for the Flossversary, I think. I'm going to say this is open to all areas of the world because it's not like I'm selling anything. So tariffs will not be an issue. It'll be as a gift. And I will post this anywhere. It'll just be posted as standard, but no tracks, anything like that. So it'll be off in a wing and a prayer in the hope that it gets there. So here you are. So if you're interested in this, then the keyword to use will be bookshelf. Let me write that down. Where are we? Bookshelf. As always, don't use the words like giveaway, prize, draw, anything like that at all. Just in your comment, if you're interested in this one, just use the word bookshelf. You need to be 18 or over because I'll need your address to send it to you. So make sure you comply with that. I don't want any, me getting slapped in the jail for anything really. So there's that one. So that's for the Flosstube. Let's mark that's Flosstube. Now, the other big event this week was a wedding anniversary. Carl and I celebrated 15 years of being married. We met in March 2010 and Carl moved in with me about 3 weeks later. And then August 2010 we got married. We tied the knot. Or no, in those days in the UK, well in Scotland, it was a civil partnership, as it was in most of the world at that point. And then I think it was 2 or 3 years later, where were we living? We were through here, but then we moved out of Edinburgh. 2 or 3 years later, a law was passed saying that couples of the same sex could be married, as opposed to being a civil partnership. And those of us who were civil partnered could go along to the registry office and obtain a marriage certificate, and it would be backdated to the date of our marriage, of our civil partnership. So yes, we have been legally married since August 2010. 15 years we have been together, and an amazing 15 years it has been. What a journey. So much has happened, and love it. Loving life. I love life with my man, and I think he does as well with me, so we're all good. Oh, what's in there? Oh, aye. Oh no, that's handy to have. We'll just haul you out of there. That's going nowhere but into my stash. So, in honour of that, of 15 years of us being married, I thought I'd give away Celtic Noel, another one of my finishes. So this is from Lavender and Lace. Beautiful design, one of the Celtic ladies, Celtic Noel. And again, I finished it so I can let you see what it looks like. I stitched this in a piece of 28 count. And here she is. I've forgotten how lovely she is in real life. So if this one razzles your berries, then the key word to use will be Celtic. C-E-L-T-I-C. Celtic. She's a beautiful stitch, lots of bling, tons of beads, a whole wheen of metallic thread going on in that red dress. There's also good comfort stitching, there's lots of nice block stitching in the dress. And the borders up the side, they do work, once you get into a rhythm with them, they do work up quite quickly. And she is a beauty. I do like her. I like her so much so that I've not got around to framing her yet. So, if that one, as I say, razzles your berries, had to get the phrase in, get it in twice, then use the word Celtic in your comments, in the comments below. Again, usual rules, 18 or over, no dodgy words like giveaway or anything like that's going to attract the trolls. Let's keep it for the stitching friends, please. And it'd be lovely if you were a subscriber, but I'm not going to go and check, I'll take it on trust. So there we are. So just a recap, bookshelf or Celtic. And you can go for both, but if by some chance of fortune your name gets drawn for both, you will only get one of them and it'll be the first one that your name was drawn for, and then I'll redraw for the second one, just to make that clear. And again, these will just go out normal postage, in a wing and a prayer, nothing fancy like tracked, because there's no money changing hands. And good luck. Enjoy. Everybody tends to watch these on a weekly basis, I've come to realise, so we'll probably do the draw for this next week. and see who the lucky winner is. So thank you for that. Talking of Carl, he has sort of mentioned or hinted that he might possibly, if there was interest, if people were interested, make a wee guest appearance to say hello one Sunday morning. I'm not quite sure that's going to happen because the concept of Sunday morning doesn't really exist in his world. He's fast asleep. When did he come to bed? I think I was aware of somebody keeping him beside me about 5:30. So I won't see him till about midday. And given I tend to record in the mornings, I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but we'll see. So if that's something that might also razzle your berries, then let me know and we'll see what might be arranged. I'm not quite sure if Flosstube's ready for Carl. Potty mouth doesn't even begin to describe it. Let me tell you. That might be one where lock your children away. Do not let the kids into the room. You have been warned. Be careful what you ask for. As my novice guardian once says to me at one point, be very careful what you pray for, Stuart. You might just get it. Aye, well, there's a story and a half. Right, plans. What's happening this week? Well, we're going to return the leaf on the calendar and we're going to September. Amazing. What's happening in September? What is happening in September? It's a very good question. I haven't looked at the calendar yet, so the Lord alone only knows. So we'll continue on with the mermaid, we'll continue on with the temperature stitching, and we'll pick up the new whip into shape piece, which will be the frost and velvet as we talked about. So that'll be my stitchy plans. What else have I been doing? I went into the garage on Saturday. We have a garage. Car's never been in that garage for the day we bought the house. I don't know who in this estate actually does put the car in the garage. We've all got driveways and every house has got a car or two in the driveway. Never ever a car in the garage. We use them, I think most of us use it as like an extra room. So in our garage we have a squat rack, a barbell and some weights. And I thought, maybe it's about time now that I've kind of lost my weight and I've been walking a lot, maybe it's time to tone up the flab a wee bit. And there's some jiggly bits that shouldn't be jiggly. Let's see. So I went to the garage on Friday and I thought, right, let's have a wee start. So I did some squats, I did some bench presses, some overhead presses. And that was all good and I kind of stretched out a wee bit. And that was on Friday. Yesterday I was twinging and walking about and I was thinking, oh, I've been stretching muscles here. I've been stretched that way for a long time. I got up out of bed this morning and I thought, oh, bloody hell. As I walked from the bedroom to the loo and I thought, oh, this is twinging. And I thought, oh God, I've got to go downstairs. And that was an interesting experience, shall we say. All these things in my thighs twinging and twacking away. I'm thinking, oh God, I'm going back in this afternoon, so I need to stretch all this back out again. I was really going to be sore tomorrow. DOMS, delayed onset muscle syndrome, or delayed onset muscle soreness. That is a thing. However, we made a start. We committed to it, so we'll go back in today. A repeat is required, and from experience, I know if I do actually work through that today, the soreness will ease off, so we'll be fine. When I finish this, I need to go into Asda. I need some fruit to go into my porridge, so I need to nip down there and get that. I see Carl's left me a list. I didn't make the fatal mistake of saying I'm going to go down to Asda in the morning. So there's a wee list waiting for me. I should know better, but I really should. And I'll be doing stitching for Andrew today on Saga for its last day for a wee while. 262 stitches. Hopefully, we'll see how we go on. That is a doable thing. What else is happening? Oh, Pam's coming in tonight. Pam from next door, just for a wee blether. I haven't seen her for a couple of weeks, so we'll have a wee gin and a blether together and catch up on what's going on. And that'll be a nice start to the week. What else did we do for our anniversary? Just nothing back. Oh, we had a bottle of champagne on Wednesday just to celebrate our 15 years. A nice bottle. And we popped off down to the Rowan Tree for a meal that night. We haven't been to the Rowan Tree for about 6 yeyears. Because, of course, during lockdown it stopped and I would never go back into the way of going out again after that as such. So we went down there, had a very nice meal. So that was good. It was a very nice relaxing day together. We were both very happy with it. So that was all good. Anyway, I'm rabbiting now. So let's wind up this. We're at 50 minutes nearly. So it's been lovely spending this time with you, sharing what I've stitched on this week, talking about the normal stuff and all the bits and pieces that I've rabbited on about. My musings continue as always. What else still want to say? Comments, please do leave your comments below as always. Let me know what you're working on. Say hello. Give me a wave. Get in touch with me whatever way you want. Oh, bag talk, bag chat. Sent out 3 bags this week, I think it was. I'll put some pictures in about here somewhere at the 50-minute mark, just to let you see. I'm now going to be concentrating on bags for the retreat in November, I think. I really need to get the finger out and start getting that sewing machine battering through a few bags for November. We're very lucky in November at the Scottish Stitching Retreat in that Arts and Designs are bringing their shop, which is normally an online presence. We are having a pop-up shop, which will be amazing. Jim and Anne are coming up. Really looking forward to that. It's always nice to see the shop there, spend the pennies. So there will be competition for my bags. How very dare they? Palpitations. No, I'm just joking. It's nice to have the variety of things to spend our hard-earned cash on, it really is. And it's so nice to see stuff in the reel, it really is. It makes such a difference when you actually get your hands on the goodies. So looking forward to all of that. If you want to get in touch with me apart from comments, email, Instagram on the description and the details in the description box below as always. And I think that's all I have to say to you today. So have a good week stitching, happy stitching as always. And I'll be back next week and we'll do the draw for the giveaways and I'll report back on what I've been stitching on. So have a good week everybody. See you next week. Bye.